Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Poppy Code, where you guys send in really good questions and I try and give you guys advice. It's pretty much where you just guys ask questions and I try and give advice as best as I possibly can. We take this shit super seriously. I can hear everything in these headphones, though. I can literally hear everything. I can even hear people talking outside. That's crazy. Even shit that's super quiet, I can hear. All right, we're just gonna hop right fucking into it. But if you like, I'm trying to fix my hat so this champion is in the middle. If you like what you see and you guys kind of want to support me and my beautiful dog, Myles, right there, patreon.com/Wineboxpapi. This is the second channel. My main channel is Wineboxpapi, where we do comedy videos. If you're new here, okay, let's hop right into this. People usually ask them, like, on Instagram is usually the most common place. I didn't check the YouTube video. I will for next week's one. We're going to run through these Instagram ones. They'll always stay anonymous. You can ask anywhere, DM me. Just kind of let me know prior so I can screenshot it and put it into an album on my phone. Let's see. How do you find your... I don't think I've really read these too much, by the way, so we're going to just see what happens here. How do you find your self-worth? I constantly struggle with feeling like my presence... is enough in, I'm gonna go with isn't enough in friendships and relationships. Then I end up giving way too much, but it never seems like enough for other people. They just keep on taking. Also, I can only fall in love with totally broken and damaged people, which ends up in a giant shitstorm. I can't fucking read today. I have BPD and a lot of anxiety. Bipolar disorder and a lot of anxiety. Okay, I just feel like I'm not good enough for people who aren't broken and just don't see why someone who doesn't need me want me. Should I restrain myself from all relationships until I figure this shit out? Okay, I'm going to reread that, obviously, but right away, should I restrain myself from all relationships until I figure this shit out? Definitely not, especially if you have, what, you said bipolar disorder and anxiety? A lot of anxiety. I definitely would not refrain from being in relationships. People are very much, people need to have other human contact and need to be in relationships, right? For example, like if there's a newborn baby, the newborn baby, I get that you're not one, but it's super important for people, right? If a newborn baby is not touched or doesn't have any like relationship with a human or nothing like that, it will die, even if it's taken care of type shit. But here's the thing, though. Like, there's obviously more information I don't have here. I don't know you. I don't know how you interact with people. And I don't know what you mean by totally broken and damaged people, because everybody is. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has damages and broken shit. Nobody... everybody has their own version of that. So I'm going to go with, but I'm assuming you mean probably like vastly bad people are probably people who like, not like bad, but I would say, well, what's broken to you, right? Are you just looking, my guess here, this is my first assumption, is by broken and damaged, like are they kind of like people with anxiety and stuff? I almost said like you, but you're not broken and damaged, even though everybody is. I'm talking kind of fast here because I'm trying to get my thoughts out. Or maybe... Not refrain from the relationships, right? But I would say maybe focus inward if you're not liking the people you're seeing yourself around, or if the people are broken. I'll try and fix things up, right? Usually things can be fixed outwardly by looking inwardly, especially if you can go talk to somebody, because you seem pretty self-aware of what's going on here. So if you could be self-aware and keep looking inwardly, and then talk to somebody who can help you consistently on it and start working towards something in a different, healthier manner, right? Because obviously, you can't really help other people until you help yourself. You can't, like, your cup needs to be filled before you start filling other people's cups up. Your cup can't be half full of love or whatever for yourself, and then try and fill somebody else's up, because then you're going to be lacking, and it's going to fuck you up. Where's my water, dude? Okay, well, this one's kind of old. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. Yeah, workout. What's up? So how do you find your self-worth? I constantly struggle with feeling like my presence is enough in friendships and relationships. Then I'm giving way too much, but it never seems like enough for other people. They just keep on taking. So it seems like if they just keep on taking and walking all over you, obviously this is going to be a lot deeper and stuff here. But with the self-worth, I would just start looking, right? Like type that into Google, right? And just start trying out different things. Don't just listen to one thing, and that's why I'm kind of giving you like this information to go find it yourself, right? I'm not telling you guys to like come ask questions and be like, go find it yourself. But especially with the self-worth thing, it is it's very personal, very introspective, because you are self-aware as well. I would maybe just start asking yourself these questions, like, why do I constantly struggle with my presence, feeling like my presence is enough in friendships and relationships? Then why do people just keep on taking? Are you letting them walk all over you? Are you offering too much? Do you not know how to say no? Like what is the solution, right? Maybe if you were to look at it, maybe wake up or just spend a little bit of time during the day and asking why these problems that are occurring or these things that you're asking about are happening, and seeing like what you're doing during the day that kind of maybe are enabling or allowing these to happen. If you can make slight little changes, and those will compound later in life to this not happening if you don't want it to happen, which I'm assuming you don't, but as well with looking into it, looking at different information, and then applying the information or looking for help as well, especially with the bipolar disorder and anxiety. Nothing wrong with getting help, guys. I have anxiety and depression. Super, super helpful to go get help, especially if it would work for you. Let's see. Thank you so much for the question. Very sorry to hear all of that. On to the next one. I'm a senior right now. Should I even think about a significant other? I'm assuming you think, you're saying senior in high school. I'm going to go with if you want. It doesn't really matter because, senior year in high school doesn't really matter, right? Isn't that shit like you leave early? I mean, I don't know how that shit happens nowadays, but I was barely there. I barely did shit, right? But a senior, though, like getting into a relationship right when you're about to graduate college or high school is like I'm going to go with a really bad idea, right? Somebody recently was asking me questions about what he should do with a girl in high school, and they just broke up like towards the end of it type shit. I would just, dabble, because everybody's about to switch, about to change the fuck up, especially if you're in high school. Because like your high school, everything you know to be true is all gonna change. No matter, to me, what I've noticed, it's usually kind of like flip-flops, kind of like, right? Like if you're popping right now in high school, that shit's probably gonna change. And if you're not, that shit's probably gonna change right now. So like what I'm saying, if you're senior, should I even think about having a significant other? If you want, right? Obviously, it's on your mind, but like, why are you asking that? Like, why are you asking me? Like, what do you mean think about having a significant other? Do you think you need to be in a relationship for some reason? Especially like at a young age, especially when like you guys, there's probably about to be like a significant decision made in the soon coming months, right? Of you ending high school, and then the life starts, right? Like real life. I would just look at it from what's really going to happen instead of where you're at right now. This is the only time where I wouldn't look. I wouldn't focus on the now. Like I would do both, right? I would focus on the now and just kind of like, it's hard to actually, because it's all so fake. I don't know, maybe focusing on yourself for the last is beneficial, but if you see yourself wanting a relationship, or if it keeps popping up in your mind, just do whatever works for you. But just keep in mind what's going to happen once high school ends. And if you're a senior in college asking me this question, you're old enough to, I don't know. If you want one, be in one. But high school's a little bit different because so many things are about to change and people are about to figure out what it's like to be an adult, right? Because you're still in this group mentality in high school. It's very cliquey as well. I would wait. I would figure out who you are, or if you want to dabble with some people, but up to you in the end, but you don't want to, commit to something and then somebody goes off to a university and causes you a bunch of stress by cheating on you a bunch, I'm single as fuck. Where else can I go besides Tinder? 23, by the way. The bar. Go to the bar, talk to people, man. Go on Instagram. That's how I met my girl. She hit me up. I like one of them photos. She's like, yo, you want to eat my ass? I was like, absolutely. So you could, go to the bar unless you don't drink. You could, this is a terrible question for me because I don't talk to bitches. But like a really good way, like where I'm single as fuck, 23 by the way, where can I find? Okay, so the bar is a really good way, obviously, to talk to people and meet friend groups, but the best way I would do it is maybe so I would kind of just find it in things that you're interested in and have it kind of happen naturally, right? If you're like, even with my bar suggestion, that would be just kind of a way to talk to people instead of just using Tinder. Because that's lame as fuck, right? Like, not like lame, but, I don't know. Even though I just said my girl met me on Instagram. But, it just kind of depends what you're looking for, right? Obviously, I'm not saying everybody that goes to the bar every fucking weekend is, bad. But I don't know what kind of person you're looking for. But, if you're looking for somebody who's, into something, or if you're just looking for a relationship. Because you said you're single as fuck. I'm kind of just... Wait, is this a girl? No, that's a guy. That's a guy. Okay, if I was saying if you're a girl, just, make a Facebook status. Is it because you're looking for a relationship? Why? Or what are you looking for? I feel like, I don't know. Depending on the person you're looking for, what you're trying to find is going to help you find where you should go for it. If you're looking, it depends what you do. But my best thing would be to, especially there's a lot of relationship questions. I feel like this is going to happen quite a bit, and it's going to obviously never going to stop. But a lot of the things is to look to look into you. I keep saying intro, but like look introvertedly or just like into yourself type shit. And people will be attracted to you. Like the more shit you put outwardly, the people will come inwardly type shit. Like you put it out by thinking of it inwardly. I'm gonna make sure I'm recording this. Thank God, I would have been so fucking pissed. Yeah, but for real though, you know, like, especially if you're looking for something meaningful, unless you say you're single as fuck, just looking for something to smash for a little bit because it's about to be winter, then you can go to the bar, lie to some bitch for a little bit. But if you're looking for something meaningful, I would definitely look at something, especially because you're 23, you're super, super young. I'm 24. I would figure out what it is you want to do, things you like doing, and even, I don't know, just try a bunch of things. Like if you go to like a cooking class or like a, I don't know why I said that, but like, or like a, you guys make vases and stuff, or if you start doing something you're interested in, if you started going to like, if you want to start going to stand up, if you started doing anything, you might find somebody there. You know, you don't have to go look at these typical dating things. You might have to find something else where somebody might even approach you type shit. You might, somewhere where you might not expect it to happen. It's probably the best place that it's going to happen. But usually what I find, if you're looking for it, it's not going to happen. So don't put too much effort into it. Kind of like look at yourself, and that would be a reflection of kind of what you're looking for of the people you're attracting. You know what I'm saying? All right. Recently at work, a coworker came to me and said, "You're just boring." Usually that stuff still bothers me, though. I hear it before. Maybe it's because of my need for acceptance. Do you think it's something to internalize, as I have been doing, or just try to live with? Wouldn't that be synonymous? Do you mean trying to live with it by just hearing it and ignoring it instead of trying to internalize it and see why somebody would say that to you? Were they having a bad day? But if you hear this recurring from multiple people, like, they just walked up to you and said you're boring, or were you trying to tell a story that was exciting when it wasn't? You're not a good storyteller. What was the, I would probably need more information in this, unless they're just being an asshole and telling you you're boring when it's not really, like, especially a coworker though, like what the fuck? Like you're not supposed to be like what do you do for work? Like why are you supposed to be not boring? I don't get it. Work's pretty draining. I probably wouldn't take it too seriously, even though people at work, that is the vast majority of your life. It is very hard to be super exciting and shit like that. I don't know. I would not just skim by it, especially if you've heard it before. Is it bad to be boring, right? Do you have to be an exciting person? Why do you have to be I get that it is derogatory and somewhat insulting, right? But if you were to internalize it, maybe just look at it differently. If you were to look at it from a different perspective instead of it, getting to you. I absolutely understand why it would bother you, of course. And you're aware of it, and you're asking these questions. And I do think it would be different to internalize it instead of just going over it, especially if it is bothering you. Ask yourself why it bothers you. Maybe try and change it. Don't try and be something you're not, but like, I don't know, maybe there's a skill, and you can look at this in a good way. The people who are usually haters are saying something to you honestly that doesn't feel good. They might be giving you something that can really help you type shit. So maybe that might be able to help you just practice something else. It might take a while. It might not be this week. It might take a year or two, but if this is an actual problem, it's been happening to you before, this could be a really good sign for you to figure it out. Right? Use this as an opportunity. Don't use this as an opportunity to better yourself. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to be dealing with them showing the what kind of person is going to walk up to you and be like, you're boring? Like, I know that sounds like a weird thing from somebody like me who talks shit on YouTube, but that's the premise though, right? It's just a comedy video. I wouldn't say shit to somebody in person, especially if it's like that, unless I was being like nice and they were asking me, like, I have friends who are boring, and I would tell them, or I'd be like, it's not a bad thing, that you just might have a skill somewhere else, right? There's people who aren't super exciting. There's people, it's just not everybody. Like, why do you have to not be boring? I get that the phrasing is mean, but what's, like, you're telling me everybody thinks you're boring, or is it a select few of people who have a different personality type than yours? I'm not sure, but I would definitely use it as a point of being able to build up type shit from that point. I don't know. Don't look at, of course it's a bad thing, but maybe, I don't know. Internalize it, definitely. Like, why are they saying this? Is it true? Okay, why am I mad about it if it's true? If it's not true, why are they thinking that? Is it just me at work getting affected by the energy? What kind of am I putting out? What's my mindset like? What is the best way to deal with anxiety/trauma? Also, what is the best way to deal with heartbreak? Not necessarily relationship-wise, also family/friend-wise. Okay, the best way to deal with anxiety and trauma, it just depends. I would say it depends on, if it's real anxiety, it just depends how bad it is. If it's fucking up your whole life, how severe it is. the severity of it. Like, get help if you have to. Get on medication if you have to, if it's not suppressible. You know, I'm not a doctor. I would definitely consult a doctor. I would definitely, because when it's something serious like mental health, I think you should definitely take a look at. You should look at it as if it's a broken arm. Trauma, anxiety, anything like that is a health. It's a health concern, right? It's something that can affect your day just like a broken arm can. I would, you know, how do I deal with it? I'm pretty terrible with dealing with anxiety. I usually, like, I don't know, you know, because I feel like a lot of the time it stops me from doing a lot of things. And I'm dealing with that recently a lot. And I'm not really sure. There's like this barrier in front of me from doing things. So I'm also trying to figure that out as well. I smoke a lot of weed. I'm going to go with how much I smoke probably isn't healthy and, you know, a healthy way of coping. I'm really trying to just like bulldoze through this. I'm not saying to do that. Right now I'm actually getting off of my antidepressants and stuff and just doing the ketamine. I kind of felt like my antidepressants were kind of like making me numb type shit. So right now I'm just trying kind of trying to learn. So what I do is I have to like relearn myself in this new, man, I'm so fucking hungry right now. It's maybe why I'm talking so fast, because I'm so starving to get this over with. That's so dumb. So I would try and see, like, why are you anxious? What's causing it? Can you breathe? Breathing exercises, take it slow. If you distract your mind, does that have a different effect? You know, what brought it up? Is it a thought? Can you dabble in the thought of meditation, of where a thought comes up and you think it's fine to have the thought, but you also let the thought go instead of grabbing onto it? You know, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of parts of life, especially with anxiety. It's very hard to pinpoint what to do in the time, especially if you have a lot of things to do. Like right now I'm looking at a bunch of dishes I got to do. I got all this work I just finished. I got to eat like fucking lunch. I barely ate today. I've just been working. Like, it's hard to, especially when shit, all of that gets in the way, it's hard to start doing things that are healthy, that feel uncomfortable, or things that cause anxiety, to really think about it that might bring it up. But to get past these things are the things you gotta do, especially with trauma. You know, it's really good to internalize and think of things and think of why they make you think that way, and ask yourself the question as to why it's making you feel that way.